is the solution video for section 8.3, problem number 7. A solid has as its base the region in the xy plane bounded by the graphs of y equals 4x, y squared equals 4x, and x equals 4. All right, if every cross section by a plane perpendicular to the y-axis is a semicircle, find the volume. All right, so first of all, we need to come up with a graph. What is y squared equals 4x? Well, it is a parabola going sideways, right? That has its vertex at 0, 0. Right now, if you want to rewrite it, you could do it in two different ways. You could say x equals 1/4 y squared. That doesn't really look like a 4, 1/4 y squared, right? So that means it's actually kind of like a wider than normal parabola, right? All right, and then x equals 4, vertical line. All right. All right, and it says cross sections are perpendicular to the y-axis, right? So now we are using a dy cut, right? So dy cut means we needed this in x equals form anyway, right? So that's good. Now it says the cross section is a semicircle, right? So that means we have our semicircle coming out of the page, which means that the height of the dy is actually the diameter of this, right? So the diameter of that semicircle is going to be the right-hand boundary, which is 4, minus the left-hand boundary, which is 1/4 y squared, right? Now, that's the diameter. The radius then is half of that, right? So half of 4 minus 1/4 y squared, right? So that's our radius. So now how do I find the area of a semicircle? It is half pi times the radius squared, right? So the radius is 1/2 4 minus 1/4 y squared, right? So now, if I have this and I simplify a little, I square this, I get 1/2 squared is 1/4. So really I have 1/8 pi, and then I've got the 4 minus 1/4 y squared, right? So that's actually my area. And so now I want to integrate the area. So 1/8 pi times 4 minus 1/4 y squared with respect to y. All right. And then I want to integrate from the lowest y value to the highest y value, right? So now I need to think, okay, if x is 4, right, then what does that mean? Well, if x is 4, then I can say y squared is equal to 4 times x. 4 times 4, right, is 16. So y squared is 16. And so y is plus or minus 4, right? And so this point is 4 comma 4, and this point is 4 comma negative 4. And so we're going to integrate from negative 4 to positive 4. All right, so now I'm going to bring the 1/8 pi on the outside, and then I've got negative 4 to positive 4. All right, so now I want to multiply this thing out. All right, and so I get 16 minus 4 times a fourth is 1. So then I just have two of those, minus 2y squared. And then I have plus 1/16 y to the fourth. All right, and so now I want to integrate that. All right, so 1/8 pi. All right, integral 16, not x, 16y minus 2y cubed over 3 plus, all right, this is going to be 1/16 y to the fifth over 5. All right, and then we want to evaluate that from negative 4 to positive 4. All right, and so all right, I've got the 1/8 pi. I'm going to plug in 4, so 16 times 4 minus 2 times 4 cubed over 3 plus 1/16. So 16 times 5, all right, gives us 80. So I have 4 to the fifth over 80, all right, and then minus 1/8 pi times 16 times negative 4 minus 2 times negative 4 cubed over 3, and then plus 4 to, negative 4 to the fifth over 80. All right. Let's see what we've got here. So 1/8 pi, 16 times 4 is 64, minus 2 times 4 cubed. 4 cubed is 64 times 2, so 128 thirds, plus 4 to the fifth gives us 1024, I believe, over 80. All right, and then minus. So I'm going to leave the 1/8 there, but now I'm distributing this negative sign. All right, and so this becomes negative 64. So it becomes a plus 64, right? Because I've got that negative there. Then I've got distribute the minus there. So it becomes a minus 128 thirds. And then over here, it becomes a plus 1024 eightieths. All right. So now what we want to do is we just want to simplify this a little bit. All right. And so I've got the 1/8 pi. All right. And then I've got 64 plus 64 is 128 minus I've got 128 thirds minus another 128 thirds. So that would be 256 thirds. And then I've got plus 1024. So that would be 2048 eightieths. All right. So now I'm going to simplify a little bit. They're all divisible by 8. So 128 divided by 8 gives me 16, right? So this, I'm going to leave the pi out there. So this is 16 minus, and then 256 divided by 8 is 32 thirds, and then plus 2048 divided by 8 is 256 eightieths. Now 256 eightieths should reduce as well. They're both even, right? So this would be 128 fortieths, right? 128 is divisible by 4, right? And so that's 32. So 32 tenths. And then, of course, this would be 16 fifths, right? All right, so now I want to get a common denominator. And so I've got the pi on the outside. I'm going to multiply 16 by 15 and then minus 32 times 5, right, over 15, and then plus 16 times 3. All right. All right. So now 16 times 15 gives me 240 minus 32 times 5 gives me 160 plus 48 over 15. And then I've got my pi. So 240 minus 160 plus 48 gives me 128 pi over 15. All right. And so that is my volume.